back, everyone. This is our second to last day of the OWCS. I was like, there's a lot of letters in there. OWCS Stage 4 main event. So we're here joined by Caleb and by Johnny. We're now on a first name basis.
One broadcast is all it takes.
Listen, we became fast friends after all the great matches we got to see today. Like that's some team bonding exercise that we experienced. Like our friendship, like it was elevated.
We're right here.
Right there. We're about to braid each other's hair, but before that, we will be breaking down all the action for you because we got some more great matches coming your way. One more great match coming your way, and we got to see some great looks from both of these teams already throughout the last couple of days, and also today. It's going to be TSM and Fluffy Dreamland. Let's start with Fluffy here first, because quite frankly, what they showed us today was unreal. That was an upset performance. How will this translate into this match? Is there anything we can continue and carry on in their match against TSM?
Yeah, I mean, I think so for sure. Upsetting a team in the group stage is one thing, but upsetting them 3-0 in the lower bracket, you know, is it an upset at that point?
That's a little different.
That's a little different. Fluffy Dreamland, like their proactive approach, their aggression has been phenomenal so far. You can see Astro pushing out here with a Terror Surge, you know, and the Blizzard as well coming in from Chime here in this example. But also the Diva we saw on Gibraltar, for example, making space for the rest of their team. It really just throws off the enemy game. This is a team, though, that really excel in the May matchup, and that is going to be crucial because that gives you an opportunity on a few maps to have a really strong game, right? But then you can also bring in Ryan to bring a fantastic Tracer that showed it here on Fluffy Dreamland, but also showed it last stage on Shikigami, right? So this is a team that is pretty versatile, and with their proactive, aggressive playstyle, they could make things difficult for TSM.
Yeah, but TSM, you know, these plays have been around the block. We've known and seen them in collegiate. We've seen them in contenders. There's pre-existing synergy as well. A lot we can expect from this team. Which player stands out to you, and how does the meta suit these players, McGravy?
Yeah, the person I'm looking at in this meta is absolutely King. I think it's well known that King's best character is Genji. Genji's been super relevant in this meta. But yeah, also we're talking about the previous synergy. This is a core, the Maryville core, a pretty dominant, I would say, collegiate core. They're with Vision, King, and Squid, their support player. But I'm also looking at Liar coming out of retirement for his TSM bag. He's here, he's back. He couldn't get enough of OWCS.
Who can, honestly? They always come back. I trust absolutely no one in esports who retires, because quite frankly, they retire at the age of the ripe age of like 22, 21. Like, you ain't retired.
Ancient.
Yeah, well.
I saw the other day on Twitter, someone was calling Space, you know Space? Someone was calling Space Uncle, and I was like, wow.
Space is a baby. How old is Space?
That's like 25, 26, and I was like, wow, we're calling Space an
It's just
uncle?
like,
we're in a new era.
Welcome to the internet.
He's only like 10 years younger than me, so what am I then? Well, the Overwatch granny, I guess. That's fine. It's all right. It's all right. Let's take a look at predictions for this one. I honestly feel like I had a really rough time to predict this one, just based on recency bias and what we've seen and the individuals. I have no idea, quite frankly, how they will be stacking up. And currently, I am still leading the charge. Caleb, you need to go hard on these predictions. You need to go.
You need to get a perfect score.
I am cooking something up fierce for this match. I am ready to bounce back.
Okay.
I do not want to eat the fish, so.
He does not want to eat the
I don't
fish.
mind.
You speak it out of existence? Is that he does like, it's not even a punishment for me, and I'm like food curious, so like I'm okay trying it.
I'm not a pickled kind of guy, so.
Well, you better win your prediction then, because the only person who actually feels the punishment of this punishment is the one who's currently first in line forward. Looking at the predictions, I think I predicted TSM for this one. I hope this to be a close match. I once again, I feel like I say that about every single team, but I have a lot of faith in the DPS lineup, as per usual. But pre-existing synergy, I also think, just goes a long way in this game.
Yeah, I mean, in your defense, there's been a lot of close matches. We've been here for a very long time, watching a lot of Overwatch. I also have TSM. I gotta get deep into my bag here, and I think the battle of styles here with TSM playing the Zen that we saw from Toronto as well. TSM is kind of, I don't say if they forged this path forward, but they're the first team to pull out Zen in this tournament. There are definitely spots for it. I feel pretty confident that TSM's pre-existing synergy is going to pull them through here.
My brain tells me TSM because I think that King will actually give a slight advantage when it comes to the Pharah and Genji play.
Hold on, did you listen to your heart?
But my heart tells me that Fluffy Dreamland is so rootable. So
Rootable.
Yeah. Well,
Root horrible?
yeah, like I just rooting for I can't wait to root for this team. I can't wait to cheer for Fluffy Dreamland. Like it's a fun experience to beat NRG. So you know, I'm looking forward to predicting Fluffy Dreamland. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna enjoy predicting Fluffy Dreamland, I think.
I love that for you, Johnny. Personally, really love that for you. Fluffy Dreamland, they didn't get the support from the community in their previous match, right? Okay, fair. They were the underdog coming into that one. But hey, if they didn't make a statement now, I don't know. I don't know when the best time is to actually root for them, as this is an elimination match. So if it's not now, then it's never. Let's send it over to Jen and Jack for our last series of the day. Who you got coming out on top of this one?
A split desk with pickled herring on the line. Johnny, is there a possibility Johnny gets to eat the herring? Because I think so, he's safe.
He's excited. I hope it gets there. He's excited to eat the fish.
Johnny's ready, bro.
Omega-3, buddy.
He gets to eat all of them.
Helps the brain.
He gets to eat all
Helps
of
the
them.
brain.
Helps the brain?
Yeah.
You need it.
Yeah, that and blueberries.
Wow.
Easy one, that one. That was another one of these, Johnny. Straight, scoring hoops.
Oh my God. You keep talking now that
I know,
his
it's
mic
great.
is off.
I can talk. No one can hear him. It's
Me.
great. TSM versus Fluffy Dreamland. Both teams have lost against Nightmare, and well, guess who's their opposition after this series? Whoever wins this will face Nightmare in that lower bracket final. But first, facing off against each other on Lijiang Tower as we load into the first map. Desk is pretty split there, Jen, and the score lines, they're looking maybe to a map number 5 here as well.
Yeah, they were pretty leaning towards TSM though. Like, did we forget that Fluffy Aimers just swept NRG and looked so good doing it? Like, if I had a prediction after that, I would give it to Fluffy Aimers. They look really good off the Mei. They seem to just abandon maybe the Genji and bring in Ryan as this star tracer. But of course, Ryan is not in right now. It'll be more Mei Orisa. Couldn't ask for a better round to start off with too, with Control Center. And I wonder, now King's gonna set them up with the Symmetra, but does he go Genji as well?
Yeah, just a quick TP. King, Genji, there we go. Okay, against the Chime Mei. I think Fluffy Dreamland are very happy that they came to Control Center, definitely where Mei is most potent. You see the wall all going down super quick. His Vision under a little bit of pressure there. You saw Astro and the rest of Fluffy Dreamland, as soon as that wall comes up, they want to pressure them as much as humanly possible. Try and catch someone out. And they're going to go in again with that spear spin. Another wall coming through. A good headshot onto Liar. Holds the shield firm, though, as Vision picks up the first kill.
I thought Fluffy was going to be able to do way more off of that wall. I don't think everyone was on the same page. And Chime just getting a very predictable jump around the corner. Fantastic headshot out of Vision. As the dust settles, there's limited numbers on both sides, but with an Orisa still standing and the other one missing. That's a fight for
Yeah,
TSM.
that's the point cap as well. I mean, Fluffy Dreamland, they found the perfect wall onto Liar too. Just need a couple more people maybe to break that shield. TSM now going for a reset up in towards that server room. Can't let Chime get away with anything cheeky here. Don't want to get a random wall. Although, speaking of which, geez. In icicles like that, it can be very easy for Haven as well to kind of follow up with damage. Looks like they're going to rotate to the point, but they're going to get split. A beautiful bumper, double stun from Liar. Pops the rally, jumps to the back line, and Astro, who was on the point at that time, wasn't really a factor in that fight at all.
Liar just ran it down solo as the new tank of this team, I guess, and overwhelmed Fluffy, who just didn't disengage fast enough. You know, silver lining for them, Fluffy just didn't use any ultimates, but now TSM can dictate this. They want to hold the choke, but King's already marked that they're taking an off route. A Dragon Blade at the ready there for King.
Yeah, a whole host of ultimates for both sides. Orbital Ray coming in for Renko and Squids. Haven with a one-shot body shot onto Liar. Riker is trying to check Haven right now, but I mean, just holding this high ground when you've had the Orbital Ray, that lingering effect even after the Ray's kind of moved away from you slightly. Just such a powerful position to be in. TSM, they save ults, but so do Fluffy Dreamland, and they've got that Blizzard. Chime's been so key and instrumental at winning these close range fights. We'll see if they can get it done at the choke point.
Being able to defend with a Mei, though, is huge. They can find a Mei isolation wall and throw the Blizzard as soon as TSM even think about engaging. And Chime's at an off angle, so he may not go notice it. I guess Grapes just runs it down.
No stun bash there onto Lijiang. Someone from TSM right now is touching the point. It is the Genji. He ends up dashing away, noticing the rest of Fluffy Dreamland are already making their way to his position. Still Blizzard available from Chime. TSM bought some space. High Noon popped from Haven. Peeking around the corner, straight to the mega health pack. Only a little bit of damage, tickling Riker, but that's about it. That will end up coming up, but a quick bash. And that will be a one pillar going down. The blade has been pulled. King jumps straight in. Everybody's bought together in that Terror Surge. It's a bit of a messy fight as we find Chime just sitting up in his own little house there in the corner.
And Chime threw the Blizzard behind TSM, so they couldn't escape. So TSM said, okay, let's
What an unbelievable
dance.
bash there, and a Terror Surge. Yeah, I mean, we've seen this one too many times at this point. A Terror Surge with the Orbital Ray, and that's one dead team.
Man. Well, what a chess match between these two, but now no big ultimates besides the rally Deadeye for Fluffy to defend with, but TSM like to take these different routes. Look at Chime just sneaking up on the right, trying to get some headshots onto maybe Squid or Fire, but that's an opening for TSM to maybe walk in off of this.
Doesn't block the Magnade, yeah. Popped it a little bit too early, so Vision, that's an easy kill for the Cassidy. Oh, a whip shot from Liar sends Astro off of the edge of the map. TSM managed to flip too. I believe King, once again, managed to circumvent the defense of Fluffy Dreamland, get the cap halfway through that fight.
Yeah, Fluffy kind of threw down, I'm not gonna lie, but all good. Chime just ice blocking there. That's just an unsavable position, being so isolated from the team. But heads up for Vision to punish that. Now you got Terror Surge, Deadeye, something easy for TSM to walk in with, but there's always the spear throw that could cancel that.
Oh, Rally's coming out, a bash. Where's the next one? Oh, Haven does manage to take out the shield of Liar. Liar a little bit too close there to the Cassidy. A Terror Surge on the high ground, shielded off by Grapes by the look of it. As Haven re-enters that high ground as TSM lose control of the point, and maybe even the round as well. Look how chunked TSM are. They desperately need to get healed up to even attempt to go for a retouch. Vision isolated off to the side, was on the high ground that almost the entire time. They're outside on coast. As now Chime is just so close to the Blizzard. Looks like an inevitability at this point for Fluffy Dreamland to take this round on a map they definitely favor. Riker falls, King to follow, and yeah, there it is. The Mei comp coming up strong once again for Fluffy Dreamland.
Yeah, just TSM playing a bit too close to the sun there when they walked up with Deadeye. Of course, the Cassidy got stunned by either the rally or a spear. I think it was the rally, and then Fluffy just engaged off of the rally play from Grapes. And TSM have been a team that are just as aggressive as a team like Fluffy Dreamland, but sometimes overly aggressive. And you've got to be able to be humble enough to hard disengage if there's an orbital ray, if there's a rally, unless you have your own. And putting too many eggs in the Deadeye basket, but it was 100-99, and I think Fluffy Dreamland can't depend on the Mei as much when it comes to this one. And Chime may just return to that.
Yes.
And now to the Genji.
We're seeing Squid back on the Zen. Like Gravy was saying, like TSM, one of the first teams to kind of bring out the Zen look. A little greedy, yes, but you do have a little protection. That Hyper Ring can give the Zen the mobility that he requires to get out of sticky spots.
Now just playing this front and center, but TSM are not even going to show themselves. They're going to let Fluffy Dreamland walk into the point, and TSM relying on poke and maybe surrounding them, and Astro's just running it right to Vision, who wasn't expecting it, hiding it away, and Astro just surprised him, jump scared him. That's an opening pick for Fluffy.
I mean, we're on Squid's POV that entire time, right? And he was basically rotating before Astro made his way into the center of the point. And was kind of read him too. It's like, okay, I know Astro's going to dive in. This comp is very diveable. With the Zen, you don't have the utility like you have with the Brig, the whip shot, even just kind of holding up the shield as well to protect yourself and everybody else. If you're proactive against the Zen comp, it can punish the Zen, who likes a little bit of time to dish out damage, apply the Discord, help the hit scan DPS also succeed. As Fluffy Dreamland control now. 30% in building This Chime is close to the blade, and Renko's got the orbital ray online soon as well.
Not having it online immediately, though, is going to mean Fluffy can't hold the choke this close, and Haven's just out in the open, hoping this Deadeye just rips through TSM if needed, but TSM get a lot of free space off of this.
High Noon, both rays used. High Noon's going to isolate TSM for the time being. Sound Barrier, or Transcender, sorry, ends up coming out for Squid, but Chime is already taken care of too. They end up backing off to the point, and here comes the blade. A nice little kick, as well as the spear spin as well. Chime not able to instantly kill the Zen. Another kick as well. Squid kind of rolling Chime in the neutral there. Zen legs too powerful.
After the Transcendence was out of the picture, like, great job out of TSM to ward away the storm that is this Genji. And Chime has struggled to convert these big Dragon Blade kills, and Astro has 1 HP. We're left with just TSM and maybe Chime around the corner, but he'll go away.
Yeah, he'll go away soon. It's all good. Lie, clean that one up. Okay. Now TSM are in a decent spot. They've got Blade, they've got Bob, Terror Surge as well, so they don't have to really worry about too much into this next fight. They've got to stop Astro from running down the back line. I mean, the Terror Surge is the big wink on here. Get the Zen, get some resets going from Chime.
Yeah, King has to have a big diff here with the Dragon Blade. And he's got some low supports, but you don't want to dash into such a tiny room. TSM may have to contest the point, though, so their focus is being split.
Chime's pressuring the point right now for Fluffy Dreamland. Liger protected the Bob from the spear then. Oh, you got to deflect. I don't think either Genji has the dash at the moment. Terror Surge in the middle of the point. King wins the 1v1 against Chime, but they're traded back as Vision also ends up going down. The focus fire for TSM right now, straight on Astro in the front line as the blades pulled from King. Does end up getting speared to the wall, but looking Cassidy dead in the eyes, trying to get the kill, gets the reset and gets out. Discord Orber helping secure these kills, as well as the Harmony too, keeping King all topped up on health. As TSM now have support ultimates of their own, and maybe, just maybe, you can use this Transcendence to waylay some of that damage coming through from Renko's Ray.
Take an early orbital ray fight here if you're Liar, and King's gonna spot them where Fluffy are rotating from. Now playing at the perimeter is scary. Here's the orbital ray from Renko.
Yep, later one coming through from Liar. Still a Transcendence available. There it is, gonna march them forwards. O'Reilly's gonna come out too. A whole lot of healing, not a lot of dying. Eventually Grapes is felled. Blade pulled from Chime. Has got one reset, spots the Zen in the back, but gets kicked to the face yet again. As Squid stands tall, as TSM they get a team kill and should be able to end this round too. Astro jumping over to Wrecking Ball. Grapes on the Lucio, but they can't get back. It's all on the Orisa, just holding them as door with a spear spin as TSM and tie up control.
TSM have just a really good understanding of how to counter enemy Genjis. And, you know, Chime is definitely a solid Genji, but having struggles to match the impact that King has had. And I think Chime, really Fluffy Dreamland's bread and butter has been a lot of these May comps and even bringing Ryan in if that doesn't work out, but now it's not gonna, it could be the return of the Genji again. King's gonna go to the fire, which is gonna make that Genji life even worse. So a lot of pressure on Haven to mark King, to even the body shots. You don't always have to go for the kills. You wanna make sure King stays passive by landing any kind of damage on him.
I'm sad we're not seeing the Zen, but it makes it, oh. Two boops for the Faras. I'll take Chime's boop over the one from King though. You get the Orisa off the edge. Nice stuff. Okay. Don't see that these days. Not often anyway. At the start of the maps.
It's usually why you don't want to cross this bridge in the first place. But yeah, in competitive, you don't see that, especially when Orisa has
Chime got Riker.
Again,
second time. Are you serious? The little back-to-back from Chime. It's truly Chime time.
Being able to defend is always nice with a Pharah, and King may even think about swapping just because it's so pain to attack with a Pharah. Now Fluffy can just poke them down. I wonder if TSM just want to go White Room instead, because there seems to be a lot of fear behind the
Look at Riker's positioning level. He's like, I don't want to go out main. I do not want to go out main, please. Please call the boot.
Don't go White Room.
Oh, there's the boot.
Oh, and
no.
Here we go again.
Third time's normally the charm, but honestly, Chime has done enough. There's the orbital ray straight over the bridge. Oh, those little torpedoes do so much damage.
Well, at least this will be a quick fight, silver lining for TSM, unless they get staggered. That would hurt. TSM, throw it, go to White Room, throw down the orbital ray. Could be easy. And
Sorry,
then, okay,
we have not
boop.
had a fight, a proper one. It has just been boops this entire time. Luckily, this time it's on King's side. Terra Surge on the bridge, barrage on top. Chime Vision Trade, another barrage coming in from King. Straight on top of the orbital ray, hitting a little bit harder than Chime was, but hey, Fluffy Dreamland, they're eventually going to lose the fight. 70% though, after a single one. How many more boops this map? Not sure, but hopefully another couple. It's been fairly entertaining so far. See if Chime can land a long-range one from this distance.
I guess the risk pays off for TSM to just take the quicker route through the bridge, but Fluffy Dreamland are going to try this again. Chime's at an off angle looking for the Conks again. Deadeye to walk up for Haven. Vision with the Bob to contest the point, and Chime's even touching the point too. And TSM, well, they fire back.
What a spear. High noon, Haven. Oh, bashed. Aggressive bash from Riot. That's got to be the like max range. The brig can fly. All right, reset, reset. We'll go again.
Right, orbital ray. If they want to keep pushing this bridge, they're going to use the speed to try and avoid it, but they get pulled into
Terra Surge Bob off the map, I think, as well. Orbital ray coming through, and the rally from Fluffy Dreamland. They're going to be rather chunky in this fight. Hard to take down at the best of times. Without the Bob as well in the fight too, that extra firepower that sometimes you need to chunk through that overhealth just disappears. As Fluffy Dreamland end up capping 75%, and TSM on final fight. They got to come back, otherwise they're going to be down a map.
Yeah, the orbital ray advantage was huge, and just being able to live through the Terra Surge, or at least mostly, Fluffy Dreamland just have to stall. They just have to prevent TSM from getting comfortable and to recontest. And Haven's trying to mark King, and a barrage could be incoming too soon.
Hey, Orbital Ray, you're feeling pretty confident if you're TSM stepping up to this bridge. You're going to be able to get a touch as well. The fire is already on, so King ends up going down, triggering OT. Orbital Ray on the point, providing a lot of healing and that damage amplification, of course. As Squid trying to spot out Chime, trying to pay attention to him, at least for the time being, as the Terra Surge is sent into the back line. Astro goes golden, rejoins the rest of the team now, focus firing onto Riker, who's run out of CDs, run out of health, run out of time on the point, as TSM throw in a Hail Mary barrage to try and turn it around, but get team wiped at the very end as Fluffy Dreamland claim Lijiang.
A nice defensive effort from Fluffy Dreamland, but a great job from Haven to keep King in check to deny that barrage and to just be able to engage off your own orbital ray. So kind of a goofy last round there with how many concussive blasts happen, how much people just neglected taking the safe route to go through White Room. But I think with the fear of the Pharah is just looming above you, sometimes White Room isn't the safest approach, but a fun map nonetheless, a closer affair too. Fluffy Dreamland not peaking the same way they did against NRG Shock, but still taking the win.
We'll get him in the highlight package, don't worry. That whole 70% at the very beginning was just all thanks to Boops. That was it. It's absurd. I mean, you got a feel for Riker there too. After the change quite some time ago, but the tank passive with the Boop reduction, like twice in a row, you're like, come on, really? You're hitting yourself in the head. There are some highlights from that last map. A very close one. Winner here, like I'll reiterate, does go against Nightmare for a spot, for a potential spot in the finals here in North America.
And a deeper run for both these teams. This is some of the best showings we've seen. I mean, Fluffy Dreamland already upset one of the biggest teams we've had. And TSM, it's hard to judge how good yesterday looked for them when they faced a Radavidity that was already very deflated from getting smacked around by Toronto Defiant. And TSM are making the lower bracket run of a lifetime from round one all the way till now. and they're going up against a serious juggernaut team of fluffy Dreamland. So TSM, they can kind of scrap through this, cause that chaos. They're not the cleanest team, but they're ones that the mechanics can really pull through for TSM. And like the desk already pointed out, King is a star, but the Pharah just got marked the whole last round.
I was just giggling at those boops. That one where you get booped towards the wall rather than like out to coast is just so annoying. Like, the smallest little triangle of like holographic water, and you fall into it. Rough stuff. Pretty close affair though, back and forth. 43 to 45. KD's pretty close, and yeah, we expect this series to go the distance. The entire desk thinks so. Bit of a split desk though, with Johnny going for Fluffy Dreamland over TSM. As we jump into map 2 in just a moment.
A lot of different choices for TSM of what they want to pick. They've picked sometimes first pick Runasapi, they sometimes first pick Gibraltar. They really seem comfortable enough to run Riker on Winston or Orisa. So it's maybe looking at the strengths of Fluffy Dreamland, where I'd want to maybe try Astro in a Winston mirror on a dive map like Gibraltar. I think Riker's maybe the more solid dive tank. I think Astro and friends of Fluffy Dreamland looked very scary on Runasapi just based on what they ran against NRG Shock. So a lot of choices here for TSM. Do they go for their own strengths? Do they try to pinpoint some weaknesses from Fluffy Dreamland? Can they pick a good Genji map too for King? Good Genji map for King too.
Well, I hope for Caleb's sake that he gets the prediction correct here perfectly, because they just busted out the herring. And it is worse than, only the old heads remember this one, when Johnny microwaved fish in the studio, and it stunk out the entire place for like the whole weekend. And the herring doesn't smell good, is what I'm saying. It's not the most pleasant smell of all time on the set. Yeah, here's the map pool on your screen. Of course, it is TSM, the ones to choose. My goodness, this is, yeah, pickled herring. Who knew? Who knew it smelled so bad? Clash Flashpoint Hybrid pushing
Poor Caleb,
escort.
he's like guesting now. It's like one of the few times
he's like, hey guys, I'm excited to come on the desk, guys. Hey, would you want to eat some pickled herring? Honestly, you know, you have to just get the predictions right. That's how you win that game. So here's the map set on your screen. So we will be going to Hanaoka. That's TSM's pick here, Lemon.
Yeah, the Orisa, Genji, this is very strong for them. And TSM, well, they had the fastest Hanaoka cap against Radavidity yesterday. So I don't know if they could beat that record against Fluffy Dreamland, but they're sure gonna try.
Yeah, I want to see more of Chime as well. Fluffy substitution coming in though. I say I want to see more of Chime, and then as soon as I say that, Ryan is subbed in. So Ryan and Haven coming into this. So what are we expecting here? Ryan Tracer perhaps?
Yeah, I was thinking this would be a good Genji map for them, but maybe thinking, okay, if we don't like Chime in the Genji mirror against King, and the only other option is Mei, this is maybe too open of a map to do that. And Ryan was insane on the Tracer when it came to Gibraltar, on these very open maps where he kind of has to play solo, he has to pick and choose his moments. And Ryan did an amazing job just being subbed in, like kind of the desk gave him credit for, to come in cold and to be as impactful as he was. And of course, the Tracer is an option, but maybe a Genji. They believe in his Genji more than Chime's when it comes to going up against King.
Ryan, Torbjorn. I see the vision, personally. Sort of Danny-esque. Honestly, I respect it. That is the best emote, by the way, for Torb. Just saying. With the little turrets. The little level 1 turrets. No, it's going to be Ryan on the Genji.
Santa's a little too early. Ryan Genji, a different look at a Fluffy Dreamland, but one that they need to execute on. King, one of the most fearsome Genjis that we have in North America. Early high ground, though, for TSM as King looks to get aggressive.
Hey, can he mess with King? That is the question. TSM going, yeah, hard aggro right now as King is already behind them, kind of peppering them with shurikens. Ryan just almost double taking. A good couple of headshots onto Lyre, though. That's what you want to see. Player straight off the bench, straight into this. Gets a triple kill to start the man off. You don't mind that whatsoever. Make it a quadra kill, in fact. Oh, give him the 5th. Give him the ace. Riker you're dead, son. 5 kills for Ryan to start off the map strong. Fresh off the bench. I mean, exactly the same thing he did on Tracer, right? Absolute beast.
Clinical. An ace? This guy just got subbed in. He's insane. And now halfway to the blade, but King, you know, same ult charge, is not able to get those dash resets. And who is going to be able to stop Ryan? Liar has to pay way more attention to this. Maybe the hinder grenades from Vision, but good first point there for Fluffy Dreamland. Now a poke war where Vision trying to get people low enough for King to be able to do the same thing, but Ryan's kind of a solo warrior.
Astro going super low. I like the rotation there actually from Fluffy Dreamland fairly early on, trying to take this left-hand side. Here comes the orbital ray. Riker's caught out. No way TSM can poke their heads around the corner either. This is going to be 2 points in quick succession from Fluffy Dreamland.
This is scary, just how much chemistry and synergy is there for Fluffy Dreamland, despite, you know, having substitutes come in and out like that. And this is TSM's choice of map, and clearly not able to dictate this entire map like they did against Radavidity. This is a whole different beast that TSM is up against. We'll have the ults very soon, though.
Yeah, they go the orbital right. Advantage to TSM. Point unlocked now. Does cap fairly slow, so Fluffy Dreamland have time to set up here, but they want to go fast. Terror Surge coming in. Orbital Ray's going to match, but Dragon Blade's going to get popped too. King looking straight to Haven. Oh, that's a team wipe for sure. King making full utilization of that Orbital Ray, and TSM are now on the board.
Sometimes ignorance is bliss. With TSM just seeing Astro, Terra Surge in their face, TSM don't care, just keep walking, dash past them and kill everybody around Astro. So TSM gonna play the ignore the tank strat. So is Astro gonna want to play a bit tighter to his team and maybe pull the Terra Surge trigger faster so we can get back into the fight? But now it's also up to the Bob and the Dragon Blade for Fluffy Dreamland.
Riker's in a whole heap of hurt. Dragon Blade popped. There's the bash. The stun comes in. Terror Surge as well to bring everybody close together. Ryan finds one reset. Almost another Vision with a 180. But everybody from TSM is just oh so low. Can't quite get it though. Is Vision actually holding down the fort, stabilizing for TSM. Fluffy Dreamland though, they are still capping as Astro overstaying the welcome in the front line. And now it's only the Ash to deal with. A coach gun high in the sky, easy pickings for Vision.
You should swing by too.
Best body blocker in the game there of Riker, just getting all the aggro put on him so that Vision could just focus on hitting the shots. And that hurts for Fluffy Dreamland to invest all the ults that they did to be as explosive as they were out the gates to not getting the fight win. It was very close. There was only, what, an Orisa and a Cassie left at the end, but now we're tied 2 points apiece with a Deadeye that could help Vision and friends walk in if they don't get stunned. This is a tough choke point to get through.
Extremely tough. Even harder with these orbital rays, which have both come online around the same time. Deadeye first for Vision, using that shield to its full effect as Ryan just caught out in the open, blamed by the Deadeye. Orbital ray a little bit later for Squid. Yeah, they just run over them. And a quick 2 points of Fluffy Dreamland is going to be a reversal as TSM claim their third one as C is now been capped by them.
Good patience out of TSM. The orbital ray to guide them in, and Fluffy Dreamland getting crossed up with it between, well, do we poke them at the choke? How do we organize around it? Do we want to be letting them in? Do we want to push them at the choke? And Fluffy Dreamland will fall by 1 point, but a Terra Surge is online very soon. And King close to the blade, and Graves, if he can get the rally, that could be what maybe pins King down, but King is so explosive with these Dragon Blades. He's a real winner for TSM.
Haven on a good little off angle here though, hiding behind this statue. Currently Riker and King just on the point, but now Riker trying to make a move. Terror Surges both on top of each other. Who's going to hold on to longer? Oh, King dealing with Haven. Nice little flank. King really continuing to prove he's one of the best Genjis in the region as TSM now trying to cap this point. It's a rather split fight if both rallies come out. A double stun, but Liar almost instantly dealt with, but King's there with a backup with a blade. Finds one already as Grape falls. And this will be TSM capping this point as well. They are 1 point away from taking this map. Fluffy Dreamland was, they were off to an unbelievably fast start. And now, looking down the barrel of losing this map.
And it's the support play. Squid and Liars who kept King alive. King had 2 or 3 people from Fluffy Dreamland run at him. King's at half health or less, and King lived throughout that when even changing from high ground to low ground. Liar and Squid keep this team together. Now an orbital ray exchange could happen, but Ryan has to deliver on this Dragon Blade.
TSM are going to commit to this. No, they're not. Orbital ray has been deployed by Fluffy Dreamland, and well, TSM are more than happy to back off because they got one of their own. They all managed to survive, and here it comes, straight onto the point. The overwhelming amount of damage. Astro just cannot face up against this, and they only need 1 tick as well to claim the map, and they've just team-wiped Fluffy Dreamland. The capture is going to get reversaled here. It's going to be a slow build-up as Fluffy Dreamland all roughly spawning at the same time, switching to fast heroes to try and get the touch, but Grapes is going to have a tough job of actually getting back to this. High Noon, been popped, Astro's Matrix almost running out, but in the end they're just flicking it to make sure he can eat most of the Deadeye, but Grapes is already down, same with Ryan, as Vision, King, Liar, they clean up TSM with a complete reversal against Fluffy Dreamland to take the map.
And tie the series 1-1. Holy cow, TSM winning their map pick and the saving grace of having a Deadeye there, but good Matrix use at the end there from Astro, but a tough one. I think this was really up to the supports of who could keep their star DPS alive, and kind of a good effort, but ultimately King was so well protected, supported, and getting a lot of value on these Dragon Blades. And TSM also starting to modulate that aggression a bit of just not always running in. Sometimes Riker could go in too head first, and you really got to play as a team. It's exactly what TSM did, and now we got a series.
Oh yes, we do. 1 apiece. I mean, look, Ryan came in, gets the 5K, you're like, okay, confidence peaking. 120%. We're gonna roll these fools. They get to 3rd point, and then TSM flip it completely on its head, cap pretty much the entire map to get the reverse. Beautiful stuff from TSM so far. We'll see if Ryan continues in this roster for Fluffy Dreamland. Of course, got subbed in their series previous, played Tracer. Honestly, had a bit of a lights out performance. Hot off the bench, or sorry, cold off the bench. Comes in, cleans up, looked really clean. And to be fair, at the beginning of this map, the same thing. But as soon as TSM kind of grasped control of this map, completely different story. Fluffy Dreamland just not looking like themselves.
And TSM had a good balance between, okay, when do we want to shoot and focus Astro down and really dismantle this whole structure? When do we want to ignore Astro, walk past him, and kill everyone else? TSM, as soon as there was one fight, Astro used Terror Surge, TSM completely ignored it. And usually a Terror Surge can cause a lot of panic. TSM chose to ignore Astro at times, especially on the last points. TSM, everyone shoot Astro. There was nobody there from Fluffy Dreamland to protect the point, to hold the space once Astro went down. So TSM really knew what their win conditions were, also what target to focus down, and all being on the same page. So important there for TSM.
Yeah, I mean, also just backing off when the Orbital Ray came in. Orbital Ray played, sure. We only need that 33% on the last point. If we just all back up as a team, we're chilling. We got the Orbital Ray, move forward, and then you can't do anything. You're already out of position in a way because you've already pushed up, thinking you can kill people with the Orbital Ray and all the other ultimates and abilities being thrown in. Yeah, I mean, look, TSM with a very high confidence boosting win there on Hanaoka. And we're going to, well, Runasapi. Who's surprised? Absolutely nobody at this point. The rush map, or the push map of the tournament. And will be, I think it will continue to be that way as well. I think it's everybody's favorite, especially in this meta.
And Fluffy Dreamland, last 3 times they've gone to Runasapi, all at about either 100+ meter push or very close to it. 100+ meter push win against Shikigami. Same thing, well, almost getting there against Nightmare, but still a map that they picked against Nightmare. And winning this, of course, against NRG Shock. Very, very strong pick from Fluffy Dreamland to really hope to get an Orisa mirror going. And Chime is back in on the May, and of course, there's a lot of narrow parts. You're not going to get maybe always the guaranteed isolations. And how are you going to freeze people on some more open parts of this map, especially when you're rounding those corners near the checkpoint? It can be tough to get a freeze, but it's how you react to the chaos that ensues from the blizzard spacing out everybody, forcing the cooldowns out of everyone. So Chime needs to really be good at calling when he goes for those and who's going to be caught in it.
Oh, let's see. This is no Zens. Again, I will keep pointing it out. This is so sad. Buff my boy Zen. Give him double jump or something. I don't know. That'd be kind of wicked. He's already floating. Why can't he just jump a little higher? Ooh, good headshot.
That's so true. Now Vision has to just be careful of how close Astro is. Those spears can hurt a lot, but Vision's got the protection of Riker. Fluffy Dreamland playing very tight right now, and King uses the cars as protection, trying to make sure TSM can't use that small room, and King wants to gap close against Haven as well.
What's the danger really for the rotation? Oh, that's close. Good wall actually, and left clicks from Chime there, slowing down the Orisa so they don't execute the backline. Haven first to fall at Vision's hands. King going a little bit too close to the May there. Not exactly where you want to be, but looking like he wanted to finish someone off. Fire also super low. This fight is very strange. It's very split currently. Only 16 meters gained, but it looks like TSM have managed to flip the map on themselves. They had the high ground control. Went a bit too deep, and now it is all on Fluffy Dreamland here, just shooting down upon TSM.
Yeah, TSM just kept spacing away, disengaging, and then we're able to just rely on Vision to get that first pick. Fluffy Dreamland didn't give up, kept just push, and Chime responded with a pick. 4v4. It is pretty chaotic, but here's an orbital ray to rally the troops.
Yep, and that's going to be a fight over before it even started, I think. Well, Vision at least kills one, but you had, I think, Squid dying so early in that fight. That's a team kill. As quick as that.
Yeah, the first orbital ray, I'm surprised, probably just the heat of the moment. Squid didn't want to pop it, especially with how close they were. It's better to maybe take a more guaranteed fight win. And then you have a Bob to kick things off first, but as soon as TSM dropped from this high ground, you could see maybe Chime go for a proactive Blizzard, but pretty far back.
Oh, here comes the Bob. In a pretty decent spot too, splitting everybody up. The entirety of TSM right now just trying to run after Astro, split from the team. Any helpers? Well, healing came in, but not quick enough, sadly.
Good spacing again from TSM, just throwing the Bob in and running in afterwards. Fluffy Dreamland may just want to hold closer too with this May, with a Blizzard. Like, they can kind of dictate this. If they can trap TSM against the wall in small quarters, close quarters, this Blizzard could get a lot more value than you expect. But now free push, TSM halfway to matching the score.
Well, both Orisas just bouncing off each other with the spear spins. Oh, a double shot. That's what you require there to kill Squid. Astro does end up killing him. Orbital Ray deployed by TSM, but it is Fluffy Dreamland winning this fight. That is a rarity. 7 minutes to go. Of course, a lot of time still, but a fight win here is good. Such an awkward spot for the barricade to be halted for TSM, because you can re-engage so quickly on that spot and you can get that corner. So we'll see if Fluffy Dreamland can end up getting this checkpoint. The bot's pretty close, only a couple of meters to go, but TSM are going to be able to respawn quick, use that speed ring to get back in position.
And the lead continues to extend for Fluffy Dreamland.
Oh,
We'll have a Bob to keep contesting, and Chime opens up.
Yeah, Vision looked like a movie extra out there. Well, there's the rally from Liar, but already falling down to low ground, and very overeager play from King, though. He's already found one. Another slash is needed. Haven takes him out, but Reich is there for the trade. Now Renko's just got to stay alive. Very, very low HP as Astro just forcing Riker's positioning there with the spear spin, getting him away from his own Juno. Renko does end up falling, but Fluffy Dreamland in amongst the chaos are going to be able to get to meterage with Chime and Astro still touching point.
Okay, King just dashing in, maybe needs to chill, but yeah, Fluffy Dreamland to kind of lose that when they had a 5v4, and good composure out of Haven once he was getting bladed there by King to finish that off, to go 1-for-1. Not too bad. You didn't want to hemorrhage to that blade, and now Fluffy Dreamland almost have all 5 up, maybe trying to bait them close around this corner. Chime's trying to be sneaky with a Blizzard.
Oh, Liar! Someone hate my mans. Oh, that was so sad. There was nothing you could do to help him. Oh, dearie me. Lost your Brig and a whole lot of healing too. Squid's at least got the ultimate here. Maybe they do end up turning this one around. The Bob just going to end up coming out. Hits the wall too, and Riker at his back to it. A frosty demise for the Orisa as Fluffy Dreamland just continue their advance.
Chime continues to be that big playmaker. Like, you might hate the solo Blizzard, but you also expected on the other side of that wall that someone would be there to help Liar. But still, removing Liar is a big win con for Fluffy Dreamland, and they didn't stop there. They cleaned up the rest of the team, and that's huge. That builds up towards some ultimates. The Orbital Ray will be exchanged, but where will this bot from Vision be
Comes the
placed?
Bob. Same with that Orbital Ray. Astro in trouble, already gold. Too much damage. Still though, Fluffy Dreamland, 115 meters on the board.
Very dominant, and yeah, the Bob being placed not only in the Orbital Ray there from Vision, but in the middle of the fight, and Fluffy Dreamland could not leave fast enough. But that is a dominant start. That's what pays off in Fluffy Dreamland. Snowball the way that they did right out the gates. Still an Orbital Ray kept from Renko, deciding not to exchange that, and I like that. You can just play for retakes. You don't need to go past the 115 mark. You could just keep your ults for retake points at the neutral point here.
Terror Surge. Riker with Haven in his sights. Here comes the Orbital Ray for Fluffy Dreamland as they march on forward. A good bash from Liar. Protects the front line for the time being, but Liar's actually walled off. Ends up getting around the car, and a spear spin from Riker and a Terror Surge stops the advance from Fluffy Dreamland. Blade pop from King as well. What a cleanup. Fluffy Dreamland thought they had that fight in the bag with that ult, but it is all King and Riker as well, playing fantastic defense for Liar.
I almost think the Blade was an overinvestment. The Terror Surge made a huge dent into Fluffy Dreamland. They got the kills to pretty much secure the fight, and the Blade was just for cleanup. And for how far TSM have to go, you would have loved to have that Blade, but it'll be all up to the Squid Orbital Ray, or maybe a lucky pick, which sometimes can happen TSM's way. Haven has to be careful.
So close to that checkpoint as well, tantalizingly close. Ult away from Squid. Bob has joined the fights. There's the Orbital Ray. Micro missiles are going to come in as well. Those little torpedoes doing a fair bit of damage to Bob's. You got to kill the Bob. We got to focus up in here. Bob's looking like a level 3 torp turret out there right now. Just kind of dominated TSM. They don't end up finding any kills on the Orbital Ray at all.
TSM ended up living despite having a Bob in their face, and Fluffy Dreamland deciding to heal the Bob because they just didn't take any damage. TSM almost got caught, but surviving, being able to retaliate this much quicker as Chime hopes to sneak up and bait someone into the room too. That's how he got a kill on the Liar before. And King,
don't do it. King, you got to know he's got Blizzard. Yeah, Liar, unfortunately, my son, if you end up stepping up, you're going to get another Blizzard thrown at you. And not the delicious kind either. Oh, that was close. The wall almost catching the Genji. Happy to fight on this corner, though, with the lead that they have acquired earlier on. King going low, takes a headshot. Liar bashes out. Wall up in a second. That could have been his demise as Bob joins the fight again, this time on the side of TSM. There's the Terror Surge, the Blizzard, the Orbital Ray, pretty much everything thrown in. Riker finds a solo kill onto Haven in the back, but will it matter at all as Liar tries to join him? A very late rally coming through. That overhealth just stacking up, and Liar just swinging for the fences through every single member of Fluffy Dreamland. Completely cleaved down as TSM eventually get that checkpoint.
Such a rough fight for Fluffy Dreamland to want to take. First, Vision's Bob is in the middle of that. They thought Chime's wall was going to be good enough. There's a desync between the Terror Surge from Astro and the Chime Blizzard, and Riker wants a Terror Surge in that room, but maybe doesn't have enough help to get away with
He's going to maybe make the jump there. Would have been cheeky.
60 seconds.
Yeah, Astro and Chime tried to combine the Terror Surge Blizzard, and that's unfortunate. That would have been a deadly combo if used in closer tandem to pull people into the freeze, but it was the pull, then the freeze, and Terror Surge was gone. TSM got away. Now 42
They're taking up
seconds.
so much space too. That high ground completely denied from Fluffy Dreamland there, so they're getting it below this window for free pretty much. We're going to look at final fight here. Fluffy Dreamland know it too. Looks like Riker's going to make his way in, but King's already popped the blade. He's heading straight for the back line as Rengo takes the skies. Oh, King misses one slash, but doesn't miss the second. A double hit on to the Juno, an instant kill, and now King can go for the resets. Astro and Greg's come up with a couple of kills here as Astro stayed alive. There's 13 seconds to go in that golden line of victory. Is ever so close for TSM.
And can Fluffy Dreamland even contest? Like, Haven has to swap to the Sombra, and Riker is gonna keep the rally going. No, he falls, taking way too much focus. King is gonna touch, but this map is chalked. Fluffy Dreamland.
Yeah, King ends up going down, and there's nothing left. No hope for TSM. They were 5 meters away from taking that map. But Fluffy Dreamland, that early lead, just so punishing. And there were 2 looks to that last fight as well. There was about 1 minute and 20 seconds or something to go. And Fluffy Dreamland have a decision. They can either take an early fight, hopefully get the win. If not, get a quick reset. Or they can just drag the time out as long as possible, stack ults, and then win from there. It was actually TSM that tried to beat them to the punch. King went in with the blade, ended up killing Renko, but it took him a little while, so King wasn't really a factor with the rest of that blade. And at the very end, it was all Astro staying alive the last couple of moments on the Orisa, and then the spawns ended up paying well, dividends, a vital role for Fluffy Dreamland to recontest. 2-1 in the series. TSM in danger of being eliminated now, Lemon.
And Fluffy Dreamland just believe in the Orisa mirror. That's why they chose this map. And even we got to shout out Haven, who got to kind of go unnoticed but sit back in a good, unnoticed in a good way, to a big double kill in that last fight. Yes, Haven trades out his life for it, but every kill like that matters, and the placement of the bob's huge. Being able to play, you know, some minor desyncs from Fluffy Dreamland, but all that mattered was the momentum push that they had to get 100+ meters. And this is one of Fluffy Dreamland's strongest maps, and there were some turning points for TSM, but never a lot of back-to-back pushes. And here's how the stats turned out. Pretty close to fair.
Yeah, super close. 1.1 to 0.9 KD, 25 to 27 deaths. Fluffy Dreamland. They take this next map. They get a rematch versus Nightmare in that lower bracket finals tomorrow. We're going to jump to a quick break. TSM, it's their chance to choose here. We're going to go to a May map. They're probably going to avoid it at all costs. We'll see you in a bit. It is spooky season, yeah. Don't worry. New season coming around the corner. New Mythic as well. It's going to be exciting stuff. Patches on Tuesday, so yeah, make sure you log on, see what's up, see what's in the new Battle Pass, etc. TSM versus Fluffy Dreamland, though, as we jump into the 4th map. Where are we going? Midtown. Okay, chosen by TSM.
How fun. Yeah, just another Orisa mirror, but the choice of DPS, I think we're going to be happy to see some May here from Fluffy Dreamland, but this was a pain point for them strategically the last time we saw them. This was how Nightmare started to turn around the series against Fluffy Dreamland in the past. It just felt like Fluffy Aimers had a lack of experience there, and maybe they're going to just give up on the May strat, bring Ryan in for the Genji Tracer. He was doing work on Hanaoka, just didn't win them the map.
Ryan's in. Also seeing a sub coming in as well for TSM. So Rocket is also joining the team here for TSM. Okay. So a lot of Tracer play, I would imagine, for Midtown as we load in to our potential final map. Fluffy Dreamland on match point versus TSM. Nightmare awaits them in that lower bracket finals tomorrow, which will then decide who will face Toronto Defiant in the finals.
We'll see how much work Fluffy Dreamland have done when it comes to their Midtown. Of course, they played with Chime last time. Now it's Ryan in, but this was TSM's choice, so clearly they have a vision. Speaking of that, the Widow on defense, I'm always a fan. And the Rocket Pharah, don't get to see that too often, but this is just gonna quite literally rain hell on Fluffy Dreamland. Still gotta be careful of those sight lines. If there's an offensive Widow, Rocket's gonna wanna stay out of sight, out of mind, but mainly peppering down the Orisa. Make sure you stay as far away from the offense as possible and hope you can weaken this Orisa, really kill the Orisa ASAP to make this offense fail.
Yeah, TSM doing what we saw a little bit earlier as well with the Squid Liar backline on Ana and the Kiriko. No Juno, which is a little crazy, but we've seen teams like Toronto Defiant also do it. So if Toronto are doing it, it can't be hard.
Kind of, yeah, just play like Toronto. Don't play a dive, but don't actually dive. Wait for Fluffy Dreamland to just be out in the open, and yeah, Fluffy are suffering the same way.
Absolutely squished. Don't imagine Ryan ends up switching here, but yeah, Grape's dead. Okay, push over, guys, fight over. Just in onto the point, die as quickly as possible. Even taking a very cheeky angle. Oh, the sleep. I mean, I respect the, like, maybe you get vision there and you just ignore Liar and hope Liar doesn't, you know, doesn't have object permanence and just ignores you. Oh, that was a Rocket directed the Tracer then, but just by mistake.
Yeah, Haven's not happy with his sight lines, and Fluffy Dreamland can make their way in the back alley. I'm seeing Squid on that off angle. He could easily teleport if he gets challenged or pressured at all. It seems to be Rocket's babysitter, so TSM are holding multiple angles that Fluffy Dreamland can address one by one, but going through laundry was tough for Fluffy last time.
Oh, Squid there was just working. Ryan needs some help. Half the time back already gone. All right, vision under pressure. D.Va in the back. Oh, good sleep. Yeah, the D.Va's going to be out of action, out of commission for a little bit. I mean, you picked up a kill, but you're 44 HP, and you're going to get demeked, and no remake opportunity. Nano boost deployed, and a barrage on top. A nice Suzu there keeps Rocket alive to kill Astro. With TSM using this Nano on Riker, it's going to be hard for Fluffy Dreamland to stay in this fight for any longer, and they don't even get a single tick on the point.
Yeah, this is really sad for Fluffy. Like, TSM are playing such a passive, far-back defense, and D.Va's boosters can only go so far, but Lyra's had back-to-back incredible sleeps to halt any aggression from Fluffy that even come close their way, but he's now on the Brig, which will be a better maybe anti-tracer, anti-dive option, something nice to pack Rocket, who's now on the Tracer, now that the barrage is gone, so good comp, and Kitsune Rush up next.
Oh, the D-Mech too. Astro still kills Liar, and Ryan is going to make up for that deficit in the tank by getting an extra kill. Rally comes in from Grapes as well. There's a nice little Venom mine to greet Ryan, so forced to hit that recall. Guessing the Widowmaker's on the left-hand side. Yeah, you can heal her. You can hear her heels jumping around. There's going to be a recontest opportunity for TSM. They've got the rush as well, so it's not over just yet. Oh, Vision rips the head off of Grapes. Haven under a lot of duress right now on this high ground. was getting Matrix for a lot of that too, so no bullets can fly and kill him, but Riker, it's easy for the Winston to follow up on that. 2 ticks for Fluffy Dreamland, a stagger onto the Baby Diva to boot. 40 seconds to go and only 33% required, but Fluffy Dreamland, they haven't got many ultimates to work with. Luckily for them, TSM don't either, but Rocket on the Tracer can be a big thorn in their side with the Pulse Bomb.
That first division, first blood onto a support was crazy. Then you got a late Kitsune rush to propel them to a successful retake. They did let Fluffy get 2 picks, so all Fluffy need is 1 fight. But now they got the Junker Queen to just speed their way in. Maybe give a bit extra help to someone like Haven. But Ryan's looking for a pulse. That is the playmaker. You need Ryan to go big.
Well, I did end up pulling Riker there, but Riker just jumps to another window. Oh, the DC. Or the pause, or I'm assuming it's a DC, but...
Ooh, yeah, tell us if there's a DC, because that would be horrible.
That sucks. That's, yeah, final fight as well. Junker Queen rolling out on the attack, which is quite interesting from Fluffy Dreamland there. Just your staying power on the point is pretty prominent with the Queen, so I kind of get it. If you're dueling with the Winston, Queen there is really nice. And you're not really fearing the
like a hotter Lucio for the last fight to just speed everybody in. It's just like we need the recontest, we need something. I need to speed the whole team in, and Junker Queen that, and also very good to go up against Winston. So it seems to be a ping issue on the player's behalf. We're gonna check in on that. But yeah, Junker Queen not too bad against the Winston if you could bully him out of the bubble, but also just as bad if the Queen gets isolated from her heal. So it's gonna be a bit of a tap dance.
Yeah, Rocket apparently has 700 ping. So I would say that is inadequate to play on. 700 milliseconds.
He's got pulse. He needs that to go. He needs ping for that.
Yeah,
pulse.
I can't imagine trying to pulse someone on a 700 ping. Like, you're 7 seconds behind the action.
Ryan.
Good luck. Good luck.
Both got pulse.
Well, there's the retouch. For TSM, can't let it go. Riker's on the point. Now has to deal with Astro on the Queen, trying to shield dance right now. That's a lot of damage. There's the pulse bomb from Ryan, and there is the point. In OT, they get it done. Are they going to stick on the Queen, though? Actually, is the big question for me. Okay, Renko. Give me the bag. I like it. I like what I'm seeing.
He's not all smiles. He's also...
Renko sometimes chooses violence,
got knees. Yeah, I think the Junker Queen would be tougher. Oh, they're just going to be proactive and get on top of the bridge, because this is the hardest point. Usually you succumb to a lot of poke being out in the open, but taking bridge control quickly is nice.
Yeah, Rocky's definitely going to think twice about jumping in on the high ground without some support. That pulse bomb from Rocket connects to Grapes, though, and Astro and Renko sent really low after Squid swaps on it. Hits him with the nade. I wonder now if Fluffy Dreamland are going to change their comp up. They're 10% away from the Rampage, and there isn't a Kiriko on the side of TSM, but actually getting that Rampage off is going to be rather tough. It looks like they're going to stick.
Yeah, I mean, just good kind of rock, paper, scissors action that we have. The fact that Squid went on as the direct counter to a Junker Queen, but she could do
Laya is going back to spawn right now.
Back.
Laya's going back to spawn, switch Kiriko. Yeah, I just saw the little silhouette, sorry. So he's gone back to spawn, changed Kiriko. They know Astro's going to have this Rampage. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I think it might be beneficial for Laya to do that, because you haven't got a lot of ult charge on that rally. Massive heads-up play there. Giga Brain from Laya. High Noon. Goodbye backline. Laya comes back from spawn and instantly dies. Well, unfortunately, you can't Suzu both the High Noon and the Rampage, and they will succumb to their wounds.
Holding as close as they are now. Haven being really risky there, but that's the beauty of running a Lucio. It's not just about speeding an entire team, but letting your DPS take these aggressive off angles, but also escort them back to safety.
Primal Rage about it from Riker. All right, quick disengage from Fluffy Dreamland. Need these support ultimates to win these fights. They're battling Bob and they're battling a Primal Rage. Wait, his hand was going through the glass. I think that's how he was getting hit there. Unfortunate. Terrain diff.
spot, though, for Vision. It's going to be really good contest power. Then you got a Primal, a lot of sustainability from TSM's side, and a late Kitsune rush, but Fluffy got support ult.
Sound barrier comes in, hits 5, Bob deployed. Near that point, but there's the rush as well. Rocket's out of this fight, same with Riker. Still got that Primal Rage, gonna need to pop it rather soon. So much damage, though, look at this. Oh, and a stick too, Ryan, triple blink, hits Vision. That'll be point. Couple of OT points back to back, but still, Fluffy Dreamland getting it done. Astro, again, hey, if you stick on that Queen, mad respect. I mean, in this meta, I would imagine Riker changes. Yeah, there it is. Switches over to the Orisa. I wonder if it's going to prompt a swap from Fluffy Dreamland too, because the Orisa against the Queen, I mean, it's GG. Queen is not getting anywhere near you.
Yeah. That's no fun. Yeah, you just spear that Junker Queen back. But the difference in that fight is Fluffy Dreamland having both support ultimates. Flyer was 10% away from the Kitsune rush, and that made the world of a difference of how Fluffy Dreamland could take an early fight, even burn through the Riker Primal Rage that he had at the time. So close to a Rampage, Deadeye from Haven. Don't imagine that's going to have too much of an effect.
Rush from Light, making some room, making some space. Haven's a little bit caught out, same with the Lucio. Post one on the ground from Rocket. A rare swing and a miss from the Tracer Legend. And now Haven's on the flank here, battling against Slayer. Needs to kind of get out of here. Yeah, there's no way they don't get collapsed on. Haven going down in a vital moment. There's 25 seconds to go. Ryan tried to get a blink kill there in the backline too, and fails to do so. 15 seconds in a dream. TSM with the orbital ray. A Rampage is going to connect, but it only connects onto Riker as Lai is able to cleanse everybody else. Queen is down, and Fluffy Dreamland have just fumbled the bag here in the last few moments. Couple of touches here. I mean, Ryan gets it a couple more meters, but this is where the payload is going to end. They've got the ray, they've got the bodies on the point. Renko, the last-ditch attempt there to get something done for Fluffy Dreamland. They don't even get that third point. Payload ends just before that last corner.
Score.
Still a good push, though, for Fluffy Dreamland. It's still a winnable position. A lot of teams get caught on the point B affair, and Fluffy Dreamland were able to get through that just off of support ult play. And we've had a rock, paper, scissors matchup of a lot of important hero swaps. Both these teams have very good understandings of their counters. So, like the Junker Queen coming out as a last-ditch effort for the point push for Fluffy Dreamland, where they almost got full held, and then Laya or TSM swap to an Ana, make Fluffy's lives a living hell. And very, very back and forth. Fluffy Dreamland could still win here with a good defense, and already look better bringing Ryan into the lineup compared to the last showing like they had against Nightmare. And TSM may roll out with the Widow, but the Widow has been such a risky affair for both teams, not getting those big opening picks. And it's not really just the Widow's skill issue. It's more that the team doesn't play in sightlines of the Widow. And you got to be able to be humble enough to swap to that quickly. And then the next thing is, what is Rocket gonna do? How can he go down the alleyways? How can he explore laundry? Are Fluffy Dreamland gonna be able to punish Rocket and how he's able to roam around? Because he's also a last-minute swap in there for TSM. And this is TSM's last life on the line.
Pigeon's mad about it as well. All right, TSM, what you got for us? There's a struggle for Fluffy Dreamland those first 2 points. OT finishes. We'll see if Vision checking his surroundings first. Doesn't want to see any sneaky traces or anybody hanging around.
And you got the Kiriko Junos, a lot of lethality. So Astro has to be careful how he plays his life, and Astro doesn't care. He's running after a
What am I seeing? What is Blood doing? Yeah,
winning, I guess.
Actually, not half wrong. 3.5 minutes. Astro's like, yeah, I'm done with this game. Yeah, I want to face Nightmare again. All right, good first hold.
Astro just like didn't get punished. We were just talking about how lethal TSM's poke is with the Kiriko subbed in, and Astro just got to run it down. So Rocket was obviously exploring the map and not around, and Vision says, screw that Widow stuff. I'm gonna protect myself.
Yep, Cassidy, Genji now for TSM. Changing out the backline too. Alrighty, Fluffy Dreamland. Astro going pretty low there. You see Rocket kind of dashing in, getting a reset off of Haven. Riker finishing off with a melee kill. Now all eyes are on the Orisa. That's more like it, TSM. Should be a fairly clean fight. They're going to have a lot of time going into second point. Can they get Ryan? Okay, they do, yeah. So the likelihood of a touch here is pretty slim, considering no one went down for TSM.
And the brawl potential from TSM got a lot better with Rocket being on the Genji. They were thinking about a recontest, but even just fighting close is nice for Fluffy Dreamland, but they'll want to get to the bridge. They'll want to get to that high ground. They'll be late to it, but TSM aren't exactly pushing the envelope. They are going to use the speed ring as TSM's option to maybe want to be aggressive, and Fluffy Dreamland spot that and push them right back. So big dance between
well, the Decider ultimates are coming up. Don't worry, these Juno ults almost online for both teams. Slowly but surely, Ryan's looking for an opening here. Oh, no. Well, TSM's not, they're not available anymore, unfortunately, as Squid ends up going down. Little Terror Surge thrown in. Don't mind that, just to secure the fights.
Yeah, Haven connecting on a headshot there, sitting top bridge. Cassidy can sometimes not have a fun time with the range, but oh my god, another fight.
Rally's there, yeah. I mean, Laya just giving Grapes a little kiss on the forehead. Rocket ends up going down to Haven once again, but Laya comes up with a kill onto Grapes. Sepulsal on the wall, just doing a little bit of AoE damage there as Laya in that Ray is just swinging, just doing so much damage. The entirety of the server there was grouped up in like a 10 by 10 pixel grid. Like, everybody was on top of each other. Fluffy Dreamland, they're going to end up going down. Losing control of this high ground as well could be quite disastrous, especially against Vision and Rocket, who they both have got ultimates for this next engagement.
It is really funny, Dreamland, based on just taking that fight as aggressive as they are, but Rocket...
Oh yeah, there's one. The Orisa, no match for the Genji. He's good on Tracer, and his Genji is looking mighty fine as well. Good shots from Vision, payload to move in. Still 3 minutes. TSM just rolling through this Midtown.
This is turning into quite the hemorrhage for Fluffy Dreamland, who should have just stayed on top of the bridge to begin with. You can drain so much time from having the high ground advantage to trust your DPS and being aggro once TSM were to get to that high ground. Now, this is a power position for TSM as a deadly Deadeye.
Really nice. Use that spear spin to get away, but they need to get onto that point. Oh, the shot onto Haven from downtown. Both Terror Surges, or just the singular, sorry, from Astro does kill Rockets, but here comes the rally. There's too much sustain now, too much overheal, too much armor on the brig. There's no chance for Fluffy Dreamland to come back into that fight, and there's the checkpoint. 3 and a bit minutes. Like, this is Fluffy Dreamland just getting bowled over. TSM's map choice as well, and you can see exactly why they came here.
Fluffy Dreamland just getting a taste of their own medicine of just not being able to halt momentum from another team. Like, Fluffy Dreamland did exactly that to TSM on Runasapi. And now, maybe a moment to reset, playing around this corner. And Terror Surge versus
Deadeye from Haven, peeking his head around the corner. Oh, nice little bit of defense for Haven. Making sure he can channel that fully. Oh, the flash, yeah, there's no chance, unfortunately. That Hinder Grenade doing too strong against the Genji. Riker, can they get the pick? Maybe. Nah, he's too healthy now. Don't want to overextend here if you're Fluffy Dreamland. One death can really cost you almost the entire map. The payload is so close to that golden box of victory there.
Yeah, Fluffy Dreamland don't want to make that mistake again. They're going to wait for a good moment for the orbital ray and maybe even combine that with Ryan if you can get explosive fight win. But you also want to cycle your ults. You got a lot of time to
there's
burn.
the rays both coming in, but here comes the blade. Oh, Ryan instantly taken care of though. Vision with a 2-tap in the body. The rally from Grapes also just disintegrating in front of Vision. There is nothing that Fluffy Dreamland could do now. Just hope and pray Astro survives long enough, but he's in the 1v1 against Riker. It's going to be a 2v1 now as Vision joins the party. Terror Surge used, does end up coming up with a cheeky kill. Vision eventually falls. And here comes the rally to keep him in. I mean, the Deadeye from Haven around this corner, but with 2 minutes to go and a blade in their back pocket. It's TSM just running over Fluffy Dreamland. Map number 5 in their sights. Rocket is just dominant on the Tracer and dominant on the Genji. Nothing this guy can't play. Only Astro and Haven now left to clean up.
We have had so many game 5s today from the EMEA side now to North America. Holy cow, but man, Midtown continues to be a pain point for Fluffy Aimers. It's not even the compositional choices or the mechanics, it's their understandings of rotations. To flop on point B, to take early fights, like there must have been a low HP target that they smelled close to the spawn that they just thought, let's full send it, let's use ults. And it's okay for the defense, like I said, to sit back, let the offense make a first move, let them set the pawns up, and for you to just be on the high ground and shoot down at them. Haven delivered those big kills. They should have just trusted him to do it again on the bridge phase, and Fluffy Dreamland threw all of point B away, which gave TSM a pretty big time bank to push that box of victory. And we go to game 5, so at least we get a good series out of it.
Yeah, another game 5. Got a ton in EMEA, got a ton in NA. I am here for it. Can TSM finish this one off with a bang? Or can Fluffy Dreamland face Nightmare in the next game? I mean, both teams have already faced Nightmare and actually lost to them, so a revenge match regardless of who wins. Where do you think we're going? Of course, it's Fluffy Dreamland's choice now, and we've seen a lot of swaps and substitutions too from either side.
It's tough. They don't obviously have a lot left. They don't usually get to this point. Like Runasapi is always their go-to, or New Junk City is a potential if they want to bring Chime back in for some May. But they've also looked so good with Ryan on the Genji or the Tracer. So I'd say New Junk City sounds pretty good for me. I don't even know if that's an option, to be honest. I'm just naming the picks that they usually like. I'll have to see the map pool, though.
Yeah, Joe. These highlights from Rocket looking so good. And yeah, the big swaps coming in, really making a big impact in the series thus far. Map number 5 just around the corner. Fluffy Dreamland and TSM facing off against each other for a spot in that lower finals against Nightmare. We're going to jump to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Map number 5 after this. Welcome back. Map number 5, TSM and Fluffy Dreamland facing off as we jump into Rialto as our 5th and final map in this series. Winner advances, and hey, Stockholm's right around the corner. You saw the teaser trailer. You can still pick up your tickets for the November show. It's going to be a good time. Nothing like Overwatch or esports in general in person. It's very different. You're not going to want to miss that one. But we're here and now, 2-2, as TSM off a very confident win on Midtown, end up having to go to Rialto as Fluffy's choice.
And is Chime in? He is our Lord and Savior on the May. And this is the map to go to for the May. And I was wondering if you're going to see the Haven Widow, which this is one of the better Widow maps at that, which maybe Vision will stay on that. But Haven right now, I think, has had a safer and more consistent performance on the Cassidy, being able to follow through with any pushes. But this part of Rialto, you just want to stick to the corner. What's important is how are TSM going to want to dislodge this high ground, where usually it's a bit easier with a Diva, or you really got to go up the stairs. And at what point does Fluffy Dreamland want to get off that high ground, and who's going to be the one to contest? A lot of options, especially with a May in the lineup.
Vision Widow is something I like to see. Really like this comp, actually, if they end up sticking with this. It's hard for Chime, really, and Haven too, to interact with the Widow in any meaningful way, to be fair. A couple of right clicks thrown in could be frustrating. Looks like there's going to be a brief switch, though. Okay, Cassidy.
Yeah, just not having the best of sight lines, but maybe once the Fluffy do drop the Hinder Grenade, just the burst of vision would be good, and using the Maywall to get back up there as TSM are attacking from multiple angles. Actually, I thought they were going to go up the staircase. They're wrapping around Mega's side and coming from behind the defense.
Yeah, that was a really nice rotation. Taking the high ground away from a comp that loves it in the May. Swap sides completely now. Fluffy Dreamland are on the defense, I assure you. High ground control is just so important for this point, and especially where the payload is too. You can just descend on them. Chime already having to pop the block as well. Ends up popping that wall too and chased down by Liar. A nice little whip shot ends up killing off the May. And now this payload control is going to be rather easy, honestly, for TSM. Also, look at where Vision is currently. Just trying to deal with Renko. Everybody from Fluffy Dreamland completely split.
Threat neutralized.
Rotation's quite fun. TSM ring around the Rosie, and I think the pivotal point was Chime. The ice block right on the edge of trying to get to the low ground. Must have missed his jump ice block and not able to reach his supports in time, and that started the avalanche that was TSM overtaking Fluffy Dreamland, who had nothing, didn't have that Mei to protect the Orisa, and Fluffy got split up from each other. Now you got an orbital Ray to cap A with.
Yeah, they're just gonna pop it. Just guarantee yourself the point. Blizzard ends up coming out from Chime. Squid narrowly avoiding getting frozen. Same can't be said for Liar, who ends up just going down to the meat grinder. That is Astro's spear spin. The Blizzard is just so strong against the orbital Ray. It's kind of a combo that I thought about when we kind of saw Juno being played in pro play. It's like, you can really mess people up with the Mei, because that orbital Ray moves so slowly. You just pop a big Blizzard down. They can't use that. They can't walk in it at all. And, well, point proven right there.
It's a Dragon Blade to break through. Terra Surge, if you can pull people in, it's a deadly combo. But Fluffy Dreamland could just wait to see TSM and Orbital Ray, but gotta find a good spot, a good lane to throw down that Orbital Ray. It's the direction, it's the lane that you decide to push with that's important for Renko.
High noon to push people back. There's a skull built on Grapes, although not so much anymore with that rally coming through. Ended up getting eaten. There's the Terror Surge from both sides. The blades come out from King already as Riker finds two already. There is a Orbital Ray for Renko. Rather limp though, I'm gonna be honest. Late into the fight too. King and Riker just kind of dominating there.
Way too late. They had such a good lane to push down with the Orbital Ray. They let TSM dictate the fight. They let them initiate with the Terra Surge Blade. And there was like 2 dead by the time the Orbital Ray came out. I think I'd like to see Fluffy take the fight in their own hands, and that's a good start.
Riker's trying to push people off high ground right now. Successfully lands a spear on Astro. Always going to be, yeah, always going to be frustrating to deal with the Orisa, especially on these very narrow pathways. This is, wow, Astro is aggro. You kind of traded though, but Chime is gonna, oh no! Astro didn't get up on the high ground. Orbital Ray for Squid 2 in the small room. I mean, you're getting run over now. Yeah, absolutely no way. That was a really nice play from Chime, just boosting Astro up. You go through the window, you disrupt the fight, but yeah, I don't know. Astro,
yeah,
it didn't look, maybe it wasn't lined up close enough to the wall. I'm not sure, but that really cost them that fight.
Fluffy overcooked with that rotation. Why didn't they just stick to the high ground? I think everyone's trying to match Astro's freak. When he drops, Chime tries to bring him back down to earth or back up to earth. And now everyone from Fluffy gets split up. They should have just played off the advantage Haven gave them. And here's another advantage.
Couple nice headshots. Oh, into nade. These walls from Chime are so annoying. Well, still a minute and 50 seconds to go. Despite kind of a small fumble there from Fluffy Dreamland, they've managed to reconvene on the point, gain some space, and basically set up to where they were before.
Can you keep relying on your lucky headshot mechanics from Chime and Haven, though, to just get first bloods? Like, the macro, the rotation's a little worrying for me from the Fluffy Dreamland side. But
they booked Vision over the wall. What? That was unbelievable. What? That was
blood's going Fluffy's way.
That is like May no OTP level stuff there. That was hilarious. Chime's holding on to this Blizzard too. Only a minute to go. Vision wondering what just happened to me, because he was basically kidnapped by Chime.
60 seconds.
Well, there's another wall.
Chime was hoping to draw the fight around the corner.
I knew popped by Haven. Orbital Rays are going to come out. Well, Haven just meets his quick demise. A reflected Deadeye as King easily deals with Haven. Orbital Ray pushing TSM forward as well. Fluffy Dreamland lose control of that high ground, put a wall up to get a safe retreat. Still can fight on this point, however. They got a Ray of their own. They got the rally. They got all the tools required here with King going so low. King ends up dashing out, but the Terra Surge brought him in. An easy lineup for Haven. And with double support ultimates, Fluffy Dreamland are going to walk all over TSM. And with only 20 seconds to go, TSM's journey is coming to an end unless they can get another touch. But it's going to be hard to, against the Mei, against the Orisa, who really goes for it here. Riker's on the Doom of all things.
King has to wear the crown. He's got the
Vision.
Dragon Blade. He can climb over this wall.
He's got Blade.
Can they
He's
put
got Blade for
shot?
another dash, but he's instantly dealt with as Chime puts up a wall and stands on top of it, so King has a tough time getting over it. Burn all CDs. Chime kind of popped, actually, on that round, I gotta say.
Haven too. A lot of headshots. I mean, what, 3-4K at
go.
the end?
Boom.
What happened to King?
Yeah, the deflect,
deflect.
kill.
Funny. Tough one. A lot of first bloods from Fluffy Dreamland, just relying on mechanics and eventually calming down and just sticking to the staircase they had to hold. And TSM just ran out of time and ran out of gas, ran out of ults. But a big one for TSM, they acted on the Terror Surge from Riker, but just more powerful ultimates, Renko and Grapes, both support ultimates, namely the Orbital Ray, as everyone from TSM rallied around the Terror Surge that was nicely pulled in by Riker. They got absolutely steamrolled by the Orbital Ray from Renko, and that was a pivotal fight for Fluffy Dreamland to win with the investment TSM had put on. And then King just got, I mean, he had not a lot of time to get into the positions to get the setup going for the Blade, and Haven just locked him up. That was some disgusting shots out of him.
Nice work from both DPS for Fluffy Dreamland. See if Chime goes back to the May. I'd hope so, especially on these points. There's so many small little corridors that you want to fight in. It would make the most sense. Probably just a Sonic setting up a kill for Haven potentially. TSM, they got to defend against that golden box of victory. Winner here advances to face Nightmare in the lower bracket finals. Grapple shot, no one's there.
Not the best of pushes either by TSM. It's winnable though. At least getting to halfway through the map is acceptable. The May Cassidy comes down. Now you don't have a Widow to worry about, but TSM on this high ground could easily get a drop down based on how low targets King can get, but they're walled off. They're gonna have to redirect themselves.
All right, quick high ground rotation. Oh no, low ground rotation. They're going mega. Uh-oh, not where you want to be if you're the Pharah, King. Using those thrusters to get away. So rather nasty position that Fluffy Dreamland have placed themselves in. The car is in a bit of an odd spot, so yeah, once again, both teams just completely flipping the map.
Got down to 40 HP there. Haven doing well on the off angle. Renko needing some packs there, almost a punish out of TSM, but they have the high ground, and King can continue to do work on the fire if he doesn't get caught there by Haven. Everyone from Fluffy is so low.
I think it's so much damage from Vision. May a little bit easier to hit in the head than most DPS. Rather large head box. Oh, nice flail actually, getting Chime off the high ground. Bit of an easier time now for TSM. Oh, Chime's dead. Okay, well, a rocket. What I could only assume is a direct. Vision does end up trading here, but it's a rather scrappy fight. Burning as much time as possible, getting as many kills as possible is going to be good. Renko claims another. Little speed ring there to help his Orisa out. Astro just running around the backside, end up killing Liar. This is scrappy. A little dogfight action. Showing Riker on the point right now, going pretty low. But King, orbital bombardment as he sees Chime. Although with Riker dead, doesn't want to stay around too long.
Yeah, that was hairy for Fluffy when they started breaking LOS from Renko. Could have re-engaged with the Orbital Ray, but then see the right group up, the right opportunity. But scrapping their way through, and with the support still alive, that helps Fluffy have the resources to sustain longer than TSM. But now TSM, being patient on the ults, they got a lot to use.
High noon on both sides. Spear spin runs out. Payload still moving here for Fluffy Dreamland. Barrage on top. King, Haven trades. Here comes the Orbital Rays, though, directly on the point. Both Orisas in the Beyblade arena now as they both pop Terror Surge at the same time. No one going down just yet, but this Blizzard is going to separate TSM. Can they still come up with kills? Can they keep Riker alive? He's gone golden, he's used the spear spin already, and now he's out of juice, but it don't matter because Vision's there for the backup. TSM are going to hold Fluffy Dreamland with 1 minute and 15 seconds to go.
such a critical fight for TSM to win with the ult investment that we have. There's only a minute. I don't even know if you're going to have really time to build up towards another set of these. It's just got to be Fluffy Dreamland playing in the neutral. And with how far back TSM are playing and with a far in play, Fluffy Dreamland got to stay in cover. These long rotations, you don't want to get conked into the water. That was almost just the end right there. Fluffy Dreamland, they can get into an enclosed space near the car. That could be a good fight for them.
This Liar rally is going to be so pivotal to TSM's success. If they can get a pick off on Liar, that is going to be their ticket to at least this first point being captured. King under a lot of trouble, actually. Haven, yeah, just wide swings. There's Liar with the rally in the front line. Ends up bashing away to the point. Want to build up that overhealth before they try anything tricky here as another rotation comes in, this time from Vision. Liar's rally does end up fading away. That overhealth is going to fade too. It's all onto the Junos now. They got to do DPS. They got to heal to get these orbital rays online. Vision can extend this fight with the Deadeye. He's got it in his back pocket, but Fluffy Dreamland, they're on the run. The wall ends up coming through, but there's going to be a touch. But now it's OT for Fluffy Dreamland as they try and push in. They draw the Deadeye. They don't find anything, but here comes the Terror Surge. They drag one in as both rays hit the ground running as Astro moves up. A wall behind the Orisa is going to leave Chime an easy avenue here to attack. A Blizzard's been earned, popped on the floor, and now Riker's in trouble. An easily thrown Orisa as Liar, King, and Riker bite the dust. Fluffy Dreamland, they're holding on to this one, but by the skin of their teeth.
Jesus, that was so close. First, it was Haven picking off King. Yet a 5v4, but then Vision trades out, popping off from the health pack room, killing Haven in response, even things up. Then Fluffy went for the orbital ray, which of course Squid had at the exact same time. They were just matching blow for blow, fire with fire. And now because you have to use that Blizzard, it's don't have a lot of good win conditions if you're Fluffy Dreamland, besides hoping to overpower TSM on this power position. But Riker has Terra Surge, and King could land some really nasty rockets if they combine that together.
His high ground control is so crucial here for Fluffy Dreamland. Can he Chime in a position where he can get a wall? Oh, Raincoat. Okay. Potentially a rocket there taken to the chest or something. Quick reset. Don't want to give too much ult charge over either. Yeah, Astro's just going to dunk himself in the pond.
But Fluffy Dreamland got a lot of free push, just off the rip without really needing too much of a fight. Now it's within one fight for Fluffy Dreamland to win Game 5 to stay alive in our main event. And it's okay for them to just kind of sacrifice that fight to build up towards some ults, not some amazing ones. I'm worried about King's Barrage if Fluffy Dreamland ignore him.
Oh, Liar!
The orbital ray.
What an unbelievable whip shot. That was from the high ground, booped him off of the bridge. Riker's getting fancy with it as well. Barrage on top of that, small corridor too. Chime ends up going for a trade as King and Grapes end up going down. TSM, they're winning this fight. 50 seconds to go. Once again, Fluffy Dreamland. They're in a spot where they need to push the payload all the way to that golden box, but it is so far away. TSM almost guaranteed 2 fights.
Oh man, and you only had to use the barrage and you got a first blood off of just Liar's whip shot. Orbital Ray is gonna be the big fight winner for TSM. But if TSM drop from this high ground, I can expect Chime to want to counter with a defensive Blizzard placed at their feet, depending if Fluffy Dreamland can get into cover in time.
Astro tried to drag someone down from high ground, but the wall, maybe a little small miscommunication there. I'm not entirely sure what happened. Chime ends up touching the point. Blizzard on the floor. The Rays are going to come in. The Terror Surge on top as well. A whole lot of AoE damage, but Vision and King are coming out on top. 5 seconds to go as Fluffy Dreamland supports are decimated in the front line. And Vision cleans house. A recurring nightmare now awaiting them in the lower bracket finals as TSM close out the series 3-2.
What an incredible series. TSM staying resilient on the high ground, dropping down, but it was only the Orisa of TSM, Riker. So Chime thought the rest of the team was going to follow. The Blizzard is there, but it didn't get the important targets. Vision with those big kills at the end, just needing to just stay calm and fire down. That's what I wanted to see out of Fluffy Dreamland's defense, but they overcooked. They were always trying to push on the defense, the same mistakes made on Midtown, and TSM, no known as an aggressive team, have learned a lot from their previous matches to pull out the win on both Midtown and, of course, this final map to take the win in the series. Big congratulations to TSM to win against Fluffy Dreamland, who beat NRG Shock. You thought maybe this was going to be Fluffy's tournament.
Apparently not. TSM, they stopped the buck there. Nightmare in that lower bracket finals waiting for them now. A rematch of epic proportions. We're going to jump over the desk. They'll break that series down and round us out the day.
Thank you both so much. Yeah, where to even begin? This series was another one that just never seemed to end. What a treat today has been. We're being held hostage by phenomenal gameplay and incredible storylines, and we wouldn't want to have it any other way for our last stage main event. Let's break it down though. Obviously, Fluffy Dreamland coming in hot. They were on top of it all. Then TSM slowly starting to claw their way back in. What adaptations did you see them make in order to do so?
It came down a lot to King not playing the Genji, pulling out the Pharah every once in a while, which is a tried and true counter in my mind to the Mei on some of these maps. You saw there at the end, it was really put to the test there playing the Mei. It's very hard to take space when you have rockets just pouring down on top of you the entire time, as you see here. I like the look Fluffy Dreamland had when they also played the Pharah. I'm surprised they didn't play it more, like at least put that to the test as they struggled there later in the series.
Also, we saw a clash. 5-2 clash. That's not every day you saw that. You know, you're down in a hole 0-2 and then you were able to win 5 points in a row. That's not often you see that. So, I mean, really, this was honestly one of the more chaotic kind of matches I've seen so far in this composition, especially when it came down to the Rialto. We're seeing both teams commit double support ultimate, double Risa Terra Surges as well. And at that point, honestly, when both teams pop the double support ultimate and the Terra Surges, you're kind of praying a little bit that it works in your favor. You want the better surge, of course. You want more mobility for your own Ray to walk in. But it got very chaotic throughout this entire match between two teams that were really even throughout. So.
It was just haymakers back and forth, like you said. They were just sending ultimates to each other, and they were just not afraid to sit there and just bounce their heads off each other until somebody eventually died.
Yeah.
I really like the adaptation here from TSM on Midtown. They pull out that Winston early on in the map. I thought that was really nice. Yeah. That's a look we saw from Toronto Defiant as well with the Kiriko. I think they also played the Kiriko as well. So yeah, I quite like that adaptation from TSM, throwing a different look. And then we have Rialto. this map and map 5. What happened there, by the way?
Yeah, Vision is up on the other side.
How was Vision on the other side of the wall? Can I see this? Oh my good lord. I don't even blame.
That's incredible.
In a map 5, I don't even blame him for standing still there. I'd be so tilted.
He just ends up on the wrong side of the map.
Caleb, I want to hear it from you though. In a series that goes so long, like, have you exhausted your playbook at this time? Is it now just vibing and intuition, or is there still something more that they can pull out of any pages they can pull out of their book?
I think. Well, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think by the end, like I said, I think they're still in haymakers. I think they're kind of defaulting to their style. Like I said, like the Mei versus the Pharah. Yeah, I mean, they really stuck to yeah, I mean, King, obviously, here, his player of the match. I mean, the Genji and the Pharah. Not the most amazing KD ever, but I think he served his...
This was a long series.
It was a long series. It was very back and forth. I think he served his role. I think he flexed when he needed to, and I think he was a key player for their team. Yeah,
King, a player that you highlighted heading into this series as well, and it is so often currently in this meta, the DPS who have to clutch it out for their team. You saw it time and time again that now it's... I mean, yes, it's a team game, but... you have to have those heroic performances as individuals. Yeah, well, I mean, if you consider the ultimates, right? Like, you can drop the rally, you can drop the Ray reasonably, but it comes down to the mechanical ultimates, and Dragon Blade is one of those ultimates, or like getting a good barrage and trading 2 for 1, trading 3 for 1. That is clutch, and now TSM. I mean, it's good to have these guys back, right? Because we always talk about how good of a performance they had in stage 1, at least some of these members, right? Riker, Rocket, for example, right? And then also seeing some of these guys that were formerly on Luminosity, on Maribel, of course, you know, Squid, King, that I always hype up, and I was quite disappointed by Luminosity's performances. Now they're here. 3rd place, of course, with Toronto Defiant and Nightmare still in the tournament. So I'm happy for those guys and excited to see what they can do against Nightmare. So am I. This is going to be such an interesting rematch because I feel like the fluffy Dreamland we saw going up against Nightmare in that upper bracket match, that's not the same fluffy Dreamland we got to see today. So I hope they've managed to, ride that momentum, bring that same energy in that very crucial match. However, with this very match ending, that means we have to eliminate one more team out of our tournament. So now out of our 8 teams here in the NA region, only 3 remain. And that gives us an opportunity to give some words of wisdom, words of praise, words of any words you have at this point. As
What
we
are
say
we
goodbye.
doing?
Where are we going with this one? Volcano. This is very dramatic.
We throw him in the volcano.
We never know what's coming, by the way.
My.
Wow.
Listen. They came in hot and they left the same way. These are the teams that are eliminated. Thank you, production.
Citrus Nation down into the...
Yeah, we're saying goodbye. But obviously, these teams, all these players, they've shown us some phenomenal performances throughout this entire stage.
What in the world?
And then we have some flows, just some vibing out fellas out there at the top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at the list. I mean, TSM is the one that kind of sticks out here. I mean, you gotta be happy here with the top 3 here for TSM, but they have to run through the gauntlet with the two big bros of North America, Nightmare and Toronto Defiant. So they have their work cut out for them, but they're pretty happy right now.
Yeah.
I think these are definitely the teams that a lot of people had their eyes on heading into this main event. I think Energy Shock obviously being up there as well, so it was kind of just, as always in the NA region, it's just a question of like, okay, Toronto's on top, but second and third, that's kind of where we brawl it out. Are you at all surprised at the result and how it shook up until now?
No, I mean, Energy struggle in groups, and when you see Energy struggle in groups and struggle to adapt accordingly, you're thinking like, oh, maybe this is the time for another team to come up. And honestly, I mentioned that TSM is one of those teams early on in the tournament. I said that like this is one of those teams that like I think this is just a really good meta for them. I think that all these individual players, they're coming together at the right time in a meta that suits all 5 of them, and that yielded great results. So I'm honestly not too surprised to see TSM earn themselves the 3rd place here.